that this week is just the bounce back week. The get right game, is a tough one, but I don't think it's going to be a complete walk in the park either for this game. Because, well, they ran the ball, they being Tennessee, ran the ball really well against Chicago. They had 140 yards on the ground. They averaged over 5 yards a carry. So maybe that's a good way to start the transition into week 2 and beyond for this team. Clearly, Jets had run issues or stopping the run in week 1 against San Francisco. Then Tennessee also had a really good run game in week 1. Is that going to repeat in week 2 now against Tennessee? What's your feel?
Well, I mean, at least, I mean, if they do, then like we said, the concern goes up to extreme concern, and this is a real problem that's no longer, it's just one game. But what you just said makes me feel a little bit better. If we have a great game and we are very effective stopping the run, then when people say, but it was Tennessee, we can make the argument, but they had 140-yard rushing against Chicago. They have one of the greatest offensive line coaches of all time in Callahan. I mean, so maybe we shouldn't dismiss a good performance if we show up and we stop the run.
Yeah, that's fair. And they have a really damn good offensive line coach. We know that Bill Callahan's a very good offensive line coach in Tennessee. And Tony Pollard had success in week 1 and Tajay Spears as well. The one area where I think the Jets are going to benefit, even with their issues against the run right now, the comparison between Brock Purdy and Will Levis. Brock Purdy is like the epitome of a plus game manager. And I don't mean game manager as like derogatory towards Brock Purdy. I think he like does his job, executes it well for Kyle Shanahan. Will Levis is frankly out of control. He's gonna give you some turnovers, man. He threw one of the worst interceptions that I've ever seen in the pick 6 that pretty much ended the game. He has 10 starts, and in his 10 starts has 8 fumbles and 6 interceptions. So I think the Jets will be able to steal some possessions and hopefully go up early in this game, which forces the Titans to throw. And that feeds into what the Jets are wanting to do.
Well, yeah, we need our offense to score points right away and put the pressure, right? Apply pressure, and force them to pass. But I'll say this. If you want to know what will infuriate me and like above all else, what would it take for me to abandon Robert Saleh and say he's not the answer? If he doesn't take these next few weeks and be willing to adjust and understand and take the Bill Belichick concept of when you have a quarterback that you don't believe is a great quarterback for whatever reason, because they're young, they're not ready yet. Guys like Will Levis, guys like Bo Nix, you stack the box and you force that quarterback to beat you. If we don't stack that box and if we don't make it a priority, and we just play our normal space defense that allows them to run, I'm going to be so angry because we can't. This is the year we have to win. This is our window. You cannot play this, our system, we're sticking to it game. If you see that a team doesn't have a good quarterback or has a young, unexperienced quarterback, and their strength is their running game, you must take the running game away from them. And if we're lining up and not stacking that box, I'm going to be that's when you're going to see me lose it with this coach and finally be off board with him.
There's no excuse to have like literally 8 or 9 guys in the box. Like what teams would do last year against Zach Wilson. It was, we know how good Breece Hall is. We're going to dare you to beat us with Zach Wilson or Trevor Siemian or Tim Boyle. And after a while, guess what? It was very, very challenging for that Jets offense to beat anybody. Right. Once they did that. So that has to be the recipe. And you're right. The coach, I am trying my best to hold out. I don't know if it's hope or just full judgment before we see what happens this year when he has the real quarterback, but something that he has to improve on. And that does drive me absolutely nuts is he, in a way, similar to Joe Douglas, I think, but he is very like stubborn in his ways. Like he's got to do it his way. And it's got to work his way. And you have to be able to adjust based on what the other team is showing. So in this circumstance, yeah, I know he doesn't love to stack the box. Usually he likes to play a lot of nickel, this and that. I don't know how you don't have the extra linebacker on the field. Don't put Chuck Clark goes down towards the line of scrimmage as well. and make Will Levis beat you over the top.
Yeah, no question. Challenge him. You have Sauce Gardner, for the love of God. You have DJ Reed. Challenge him. Make him beat those cornerbacks. Make him force us out of the box. Like every team did to us when we had Zach Wilson and freaking the cast of rejects that backed him up.
What's up, guys? Matt O'Leary from Talkin' Jets. If you liked that video, please make sure to subscribe and follow for more New York Jets content.